Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Do the Math. I'm Michael.
I'm Mickey.
I'm Macayla. For math homework, help call in Bakersfield 636-4357. Everywhere else, 1-866-636-6284. Email dothemath@kern.org. We're online at dothemathonline.net. And on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
All right, nicely done. Thank you for doing that, Macayla. Where do you attend school?
Stockdale Elementary.
And what grade are you in?
6th grade.
How is 6th grade?
Great.
What's so great about it?
We get to do fun assignments, especially in GATE as well, and I got to join math counts. So.
Oh, good. So, all right. So we had a student on yesterday that was in GATE, and that's where you do some enrichment activities and some different things you don't do in the regular classroom?
Yeah.
Perfect. And you enjoy that?
Yes.
Good. It's always good that you enjoy that. And you said math counts.
Yes.
And math counts is a competition, and I believe that takes place at CSUB, correct?
Yes.
And tell us about your experience with math counts.
Well, with math counts, over a couple of weeks, I work with some of my classmates to do advanced math for like 7th and 8th graders. And then at some point, we went to CSUB for a competition, and then we got to compete against 7th and 8th graders, which was really
so
fun.
as a 6th grader, how did you like that? Because you're competing with 7th and 8th graders, so you guys are at the lower end of that whole group. Did you find it fun, challenging? Did you like it?
It was fun and challenging.
Okay. How do you think you did? I mean, did you find out, like, did you do all right? Or?
Yeah, I did pretty well.
All right, good. So is this something that you think you might look at doing again when you're in junior high school?
Yes.
And hopefully they have it at your school, because not every school does that.
Yeah.
But maybe you can talk to your math instructor and push it a little bit if they don't do it, right?
Yeah.
Do you know where you'll be attending junior high school yet?
Tevis.
And
The Wranglers.
when you go there, you guys have an opportunity for electives, correct?
Yes.
Have you taken a look at those yet?
Yes, I have.
And have you thought about what you might want to
Yeah.
take? What would that be?
Like the first ones would be orchestra and band.
Okay, so I take it you play an instrument now?
Yes.
And what is that?
Violin.
And how long have you been playing violin?
5 years.
5 years. You must be pretty good. Yeah, there you go. 5 years. That's
Now, hold
pretty
on,
good.
hold on. So you said orchestra and band. Are
Yeah.
you currently in band, or you want to join band?
I'm going to join band. I've been learning trumpet right now.
Yeah, trumpet player. Woo! That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you played trumpet for quite a few
That's
years too,
right.
right?
Yeah,
Weren't you a drum major
I was
at high school?
I was full-blood all the way through, all the drum line, not drum line, but marching band and everything. So trumpet will allow you to join the marching band, and you get to go do different shows and learn how to march on the field and walk faster than most people walk around and play an instrument at the same time while counting steps, looking around, making sure no one else hits you.
Yeah.
And those are pretty cool to
marching
look at
band is a
also
sport.
from
I
the
don't care what
crowd's
people
point of
say.
view.
Marching band's a sport. You know, oh, marching band's not a sport. Oh, yes, it is. That's a sport. That's an intense sport.
Well, you know what? Today, Macayla's a mathlete. You ready?
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
You and I are going to take a look at first problem of the day. This is the one that is presented on social media. So we have a lot of people, kids and adults alike, pose their answers, and we'll see how you do with this one. So let's take a look at the problem of the day. So it says 7/8 minus 2/5. So Macayla, what is the first thing you would like to do with this problem?
Turn them both into like terms.
Okay, and what would that be? And how would you do it? So explain to us what you're thinking about in doing.
Well, if you multiply 8 and 5, you get 40. And if you turn both of them into have a denominator of 40, then they would be like terms. So if you do 7/8 and multiply that by 5/5, that would be 35/40, and then subtract that by 2/5 times 8/8, which would be 16/40.
So we have 35/40 and 16/40.
Trying to track all this. I'm
With
like,
the
hold
common
on.
denominator. Well, she's a sharp young
I
lady
gotta
here,
keep
so
the
that's
chalk
why I
here
knew
on the
she could do it in
tabletop.
her head. All right, so now what do we do?
You subtract it, and so that would be 35 minus 16, which would be 19.
19/40ths.
Yeah.
All right, so you feeling pretty good about that?
Yeah.
Pretty confident?
Yeah, of course.
No doubt in your mind?
None.
Why did that? This is your first day on the show, but I
borrow
ask
that
all
pencil right
students
there?
that.
I'm gonna borrow this
and
pencil.
want to make sure that they feel good about their answer, because sometimes they go 19/40ths and they're not too sure about it. But you are positive that that's the answer.
40th minus 35 minus
I need to write this
35
down.
No, you're right. You're all cool.
35 minus 16.
All right, so 19/40ths.
Yeah.
Why do you think 1/8 would be up there?
Probably because it is 7/8, and so you could assume that it would be an eighth of an answer. So.
Right, because they're going, all right, we need to get something common down there, and they might think we have 40ths and we can simplify it to an eighth possibly.
Yeah.
Because you could do that. All right, nicely done. So you're going to go with B. Let's take a look and see if B is indeed the correct answer. And B is the correct answer. There you go, 1 for 1.
Nice.
All right. 636-4357 is the phone number. We do have phone tutors available most Tuesdays and Wednesdays throughout the regular school year. But programming note, today, the final day of Do the Math in our 21st season. Woo! We are completing season 21. Today is the final day for live broadcast. There will be programs re-shown throughout the year, but today is the last day for live broadcast. So if you have a math problem you'd like a little bit of help on, we are here until 5:30 this afternoon. Time now for today's Math in the News. And today's Math in the News, always like it when we can have somebody in studio with us. And fortunately today, we do have two people with us today. We have Greg and Amanda. How are you today?
Fantastic.
Good, doing great.
Nice to have you guys here. So Greg, what is your title and where do you work?
So I work at the Kern County Superintendent of Schools office. My job is a director of what we call Kern Integrated Data Systems, but for short we like to call it KIDS.
All right, so you're in charge of kids
Yes.
with the county office.
The county office.
Amanda?
I work here at the county office as well, Kern County Superintendent of Schools, and I am the Kern Education Pledge Coordinator.
All right, so we have a couple of things we need to talk about that have been placed for a little while, one more than the other, I think. Let's start with the pledge. And when did the pledge originate?
It originated in 2017 when all 46 school districts and institutes of higher education partnered together. And they said, we are going to work together to eliminate barriers and really streamline things for children from kindergarten all the way through their post-secondary education.
And here we have some B-roll right here of when this started, and we've got the Kern Pledge and kids right there. And this is you guys obviously meeting. There's Dr. Barlow and talking with the other districts, right, and higher levels of education right there also. So you guys work with every student, well, not students directly with what you do, but students in schools from kindergarten through the university level.
Right, absolutely. The focus is the students that are just starting to enter kindergarten all the way through the ones that are in college right now.
And how have you found this since this originated about 6 years ago? How has everything been progressing? Are you kind of on track with what you've wanted to see so far?
You know, the great thing is, as education has developed and transpired over the last few years, you know, we've had some
I was
unique
gonna say there
things
was
that
a
have
hiccup in there
There
also.
was, and the coolest thing is because of the pledge and actually because of kids, we were able to mobilize and even use it in different ways, like distributing laptops and hotspots and foods to students during the pandemic when it shut down. So because of this agreement and because of the data system, they were able to jump into action and meet that need much more quickly than they might have without that information.
Well, I was going to say, because Do the Math obviously is funded and produced by the Kern County Superintendent of Schools office, and when that little hiccup happened, everybody thought, wow, Do the Math is going to be a perfect resource because kids aren't able to go to school, and we know that doing the online thing wasn't the best for most students, and Do the Math was able to be there the entire time. in order to help students that did need a little bit of extra help with that also.
Absolutely, so many of them did, and with the resources that we have here at the county office and in the other districts, they were able to really partner and see who needed help and who was able to offer help as well.
So what are the next steps, or what do you see coming up in the next few years with the pledge?
Well, the cool thing is we have 7 work groups that work in lots of different areas. So one might be kinder readiness, literacy, math. We have a college and career work group. We have a post-secondary work group. We have a work group focused on chronic absenteeism, and we have a data sharing work group, and that's really where KIDS was born from.
And I know that data science is a big thing now, and it's something that I know that they are talking about putting more into high school courses, and something that employers will be looking for, students to have those skills. So Greg, tell us a little bit about KIDS.
So KIDS is really a product of the Kern Education Pledge. We wanted to look at all of our students around Kern County and identify where they're doing really great and also areas where they might need some extra help and support. And so what the KIDS platform does is we're pulling all this information into one spot. So we can see attendance and grades and behavior and everything you would want to know about a student for the entire county. And we can look at those trends. So I know you talk about statistics. And taking all of those numbers of all of our students across the county and putting it into one spot so your teachers, principals, and even superintendents and the colleges can really identify what are the areas that are doing well and what supports do our students need.
So that is a big help. I can just imagine, especially a new teacher coming in, right? And they're trying to, first of all, get their class ready. Let's say they're not even brand new. They're in their 2nd or 3rd year. They've been in the classroom for a year or so. So they're kind of getting everything under control. But having all of this data is going to further enhance their teaching with the students. So how do most instructors use this?
Well, I think the best part about our platform is because we have all of our schools and all of the Kern County in there. You know, we have students that might move from one school to another and sometimes in different districts, and they'll come into a new classroom and the teacher doesn't know anything about that student. But now that we have KIDS in place, the teacher, when they get a new student in their classroom, they can see all that information from their previous school and make sure that that student gets the support they need, and they identify what areas the student needs extra areas of support in, and can make sure that they get that for that student immediately.
And when did this start? Like, how old is the oldest student that would have something, let's say from kindergarten when they started? Would it like a 4th grader now have all the information that an instructor would need from kindergarten through 4th grade?
We do, yeah. So when we bring a district on, we bring in 5 years of data. And some of our districts started with us in 2019. So we have students in there from 2014, 2015 school year, whenever they were in the younger grades, all the way through high school. I actually have an employee that works for me that found himself in our system because he was in school at that time. So
and was he shocked, surprised? I mean, what was he? You know, like, whoa, I didn't realize all this was going.
I had to look in and check to make sure he was capable of
check his grades, his attendance.
So you're able to tell us a little bit. I know we saw some footage of some of the data and things like that, and things that you guys were looking at. But can you explain a little bit about what we're looking at right now? Because I know attendance is a major factor in how well students do in school.
Yes, so what we see on the screen right now is this is the whole county. So we have 43 districts in there right now. 178,000 students are represented in our platform. And so we want to know, of all of those students, what's the average attendance rate? What's the average amount of days that students are attending school? And you can see 92% is the attendance rate of all the students within Kern County. And then below that, you can see a trend. So how does that compare to last year and then even the year before that? So you can see one dip really low there in the middle. You might remember there was a time last year where we had the Omicron virus that came back, and a lot of students are being sent home. And you can see how the impact of the COVID pandemic and how that impacted our attendance rates in schools, and see how we're recovering from that this year, now that that's starting to go away.
Right. So simply being at school is the biggest thing. And the thing that goes with that is when you have to miss school possibly because of being suspended.
Right.
And that's one that we've got up here also.
We do. You know, if you're not in school, you're not learning how to do math, you're not learning how to read because you're either at home, or if you've been suspended, that's another issue. So we're always looking and making sure what are ways that we can help support teachers, make sure their students are in their seats and in their classroom and learning.
And I
so
know there
these
are some
the two
schools,
most-
and I don't know if it's a district thing that they do differently, but trying to keep the kids, let's say they had to be suspended, but not necessarily sending them home.
Yeah.
Like an in-school suspension.
Right, keeping them on campus so that they can still have the ability to learn on campus
Yep.
and get the help they need.
Yeah.
Yep.
Give
while they're right
instructors
there.
there to kind of coach them through that at the
So
time.
this website has just, I mean, as much information as you would possibly want to go into.
Yes.
And I think it's great because a lot of times you talk about students where they might go from one school to another because the family moves for whatever reason. But from district to district
Yes.
is, I think, a key also, because sometimes they would go, well, they moved here from another district and we don't have any information on them and we don't know what they need, and the kid falls even further behind because they're lacking the services that they were to be provided.
Right.
But this, you can get it the same day that you receive the student, you can have all that information.
Yep. It's making a big impact on making sure our students are welcome and supported right when they come to that new school.
All right, well, you know what, we certainly do appreciate you guys taking out some time. I know that you work for the County Superintendent of Schools office, which is where we are, but it is a bit of time that we do ask of you to come down and share this with us. So we do thank you very much for your time this afternoon.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
thank
having
you.
us.
All right, 636-4357 is that phone number. We do have phone tutors available until 5:30. That is today's Math in the News. All right. Now we've got Macayla, a 6th grade student from Stockdale Elementary, ready to work on some math. So, young lady, let's get you back in here and get going. So, here is one of the math problems, and we can see that under the camera we've got the math problem, and it says problem solving real world. And it says DVDs purchased, and it gives you a graph, and it's got another graph, and it says use the graph to find the cost of purchasing 5 DVDs. And there's obviously a couple of different ways about going to solve this, but we eliminated some of the information for you guys. So Macayla, explain to Mickey how you're going to fill in what's missing and what the cost would be for 5 DVDs.
Well, if this is 1 and that's 3 and 4, so I assume that gap would be 2. And as for finding out what 1 would be, I'd have to divide 60 by 4, which would be 15, because 4 can go into 6 one time, and then I would have to bring down 20, and that can go into that 5 times. So that would mean this is 15.
Okay.
So I can mark it right about right here. For 2, that would be 15 times 2. And 15 times 2 is 30, which would be about right here.
Okay. $30 for 2. Now let's go to 3 DVDs. What do we have to do now?
Just like 2, you have to multiply 3 by 15, which would be 45.
Okay.
And to find out how many would be 5 DVDs, you would have to multiply 5 by 15, and that would get you to 75, because 15 times 5, so you do that, and that equals 25, carry the 2, and then 2 and 5 is 75. So, be right there.
What about our 4 DVDs for $60? Let's go ahead and graph that also.
$4, 60 DVDs, right there.
Perfect. Now, what if I wanted to figure out the cost of 10 DVDs without multiplying and I only wanted to use the graph? What could I do?
You could look at the distance between each of these and see how much they are growing without even multiplying. And so this one, it's hard to see, but you can tell that that one is at 15 and this one is at 30. And
So if I were to take a line and go exponentially upwards,
yes.
on this line I could see the cost of, let's see, so 6 DVDs would be approximately how much?
Would probably
It's not
be
exact, but we're
Yeah.
pretty close, right? Like we're
Yeah.
pretty close to right in
Yeah.
here.
right around there.
Okay, so right around $80 and we would continue on up?
Yeah.
All right, let's double check. How do we do?
Nicely done. All right, so 5 DVDs would be
Yes.
$75, so nicely done,
Now,
Macayla,
Macayla,
on
do
that.
you buy DVDs still? Or do you just like do the buy or rent on YouTube kind of thing or on Disney Plus
not
kind of stuff?
really.
All right, I don't know. DVDs, huh?
I don't remember the
DVDs,
last time
Mike?
I actually rented a DVD to myself. Let's see, this page doesn't have the year that book was made, so but it is what they're using in school right now. Ooh, got the buzzer. You guys got the buzzer right there.
We got it right there.
I know
We got
they
the
didn't do
buzzer.
that to me.
Him and his DVDs.
Oh, I guess I did get it. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We are going to go to a clean page for you guys, and I've got a great problem for you right now. So let's take a look at it together. So this one is number 10. If Tom travels 135 miles in 1 hour and 30 minutes, so I don't know if you want to write any information up there. So we have 135 miles in 1 hour 30 minutes, so an hour and a half. What is his speed in feet per second? And it tells us that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, which I'm sure Macayla knew already, but it's up there for her already. So 1 mile is 5,280 feet. We have miles per hour. We need feet per second. So Macayla, have at it.
Okay. So what I would do first is convert that hour and 30 minutes into just minutes, which would be 90. Then for seconds, I would multiply that by 60, which is 5,400.
Okay. So definitely doing some unit conversions here.
Yes.
Okay.
And since 135 miles, and for 1 mile that is 5,280, I would multiply 135 by 5,280.
Okay, let's make some room for you right here. Go for it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
5 is 15. Plus 0, 0. And now 2. 16 plus 6, that would be 22, 4, 9, 2 equals 1. So 6.
One of the things we've done this year, Macayla, is we've talked about the tools of mathematics. Can you think of the most common tool that people would use for mathematics?
Probably a ruler.
Okay, a ruler would be one, right? We have one of those up here. What else do you think would be very common for most students?
Calculator.
Calculator. Here's one if you want to use it, just to make sure what you're doing over there.
I'm looking at the math and
I
was
know
like,
that you're a bright student, but sometimes the calculator will help things, and even to verify what you're doing. So feel free to use that if you'd like to.
7, 1. Yep, that's correct.
All right, perfect. See, you don't need a calculator.
I'm
We're
just
good.
saying
We're
to
good.
help verify.
But I'll hang on to it just in case. You never know if I need it. We'll just tuck that right there for us. All right. So we have 5,400 seconds and 712,800 feet.
Yes.
Bunch of numbers. What does it mean? What are we going to do?
You should divide 700. 700.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Commas always help.
712,800 by 5,400.
Okay.
Big boy.
And just like that, it's all gone. You remember your numbers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
You didn't make her memorize those numbers, lad. That's good.
Well, she did all the math. She's got it. See? Ba-bam.
So you're going to use your tool?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. We don't need
No.
any tools
All
here,
right.
Mike.
Okay.
All right.
If you want to,
Hold
do
on.
you want
I got this. I got this. There we go. All right. So,
I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
do you see anything we can do to make this problem more accessible or simpler to work on? Any, not trick, but a pattern we can use to eliminate how large these numbers are?
5,400 would Probably times 2 might be bigger than 10,000.
Let me ask you this. When I multiply 4 times 10, what makes it become 40?
The 0.
The 0, right?
Yeah.
But why? What's behind this 4 that's always invisible?
The decimal.
Decimal. When I multiply by 10, which way does that decimal go?
To the right.
To the right, correct? 1 decimal place over, 4 becomes 40.
Yeah.
If I divide by 10, does the opposite happen? It goes to the left?
Yes.
So, I see 2 zeros and 2 zeros. Can I manipulate these by dividing by a power of 10 to simplify these values?
Yes.
What can we divide by?
100.
Go for it.
Okay.
Or just recreate it or erase zeros depending on how that decimal would move.
So then.
Yeah, now we're talking. All right.
Yay.
Now we don't need a calculator, Mike. We got this.
Well, you
just
still
simplify
might
the
want
problem.
to use the calculator, but
We'll
I'm
use
glad
the
you guys have
calculator at
simplified
the
this
end.
and gotten rid of the zeros.
We got this. Here we go.
Thank you.
Go for it.
One, two, so. Then- So. Wait.
Let's go one more.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 54.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hold on, wait a second. Sorry, I saw the 3 and it threw me off. I'm like,
Oh,
where's the
sorry.
3 from? Okay,
Sorry.
gotcha. Okay, keep going.
And bring down the 8. Then
Nice.
that's 2.
Boom. We don't need a calculator.
You got 132. What is that?
That
Macayla, what is it?
that means that would be 100. What was the question?
Let's go back to the question. We can always review the question. Hold on,
All
hold
right,
on.
let's go back to the
Don't
question.
let him phase us. We got this. Okay, so remember, we had
What is his
miles
speed
in this
in
much
feet
time.
Yeah.
per
We wanted
second?
feet per second. Remember, you took your miles, turned them
Yeah.
into feet,
Yeah.
and then we took your hour and minutes and turned it into
Seconds.
seconds.
So
What do we have? 132 what?
100.
So remember, before you had miles
Then
per minute, right?
yeah.
Did you just divide your miles by how many minutes you had?
No.
Nope.
It was feet by seconds.
Exactly, right. We converted it. So then we changed it to feet per second, correct? So we had feet divided by how many seconds? Do we have anything left? We have 132, right?
Yes.
132 feet per
Second.
Yes. Booyah. Let's write that out so we can show Mike.
Yeah, I was going to say, write it out so you can show Mike, so Mike will be happy about the whole thing when it's all written correctly.
Yay.
Would you like to confirm this answer?
Yeah.
Would you like to confirm with a calculator?
Sure.
Because that's what calculators are for, checking
Use the tool.
our answers.
We'll see if they give you the buzzer or a...
132.
I'm thinking we're getting a ding, 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 ding. I'm thinking we're getting a happy
132.
bill. 132. There we go. Go show the
All
camera.
right,
Hold it
nicely
up there. They'll zoom in on it.
Yep.
Oh, we got to put it back
Yeah.
on. Well, we're going to show you right now. We're proving it using our tools of
Trust me.
mathematics.
I trust you on that one.
There it is. Bam.
Oh, look at that.
132.
They're even
There it
gonna
is.
focus in on that. Nicely done. All right, Macayla, you've done some great work, outstanding work today. And for your
Booyah.
great effort, you've got yourself a meal courtesy of our friends at the Broken Yolk Cafe, so congratulations on that. We'll be back with more right after this.
If you want to learn what makes a volcano erupt, you need to go right to the otherworldly source, the crunchy, oozing, red-hot source. At least that's what geologist Mike Garcia does. Voila! Wow, that's amazing. Amazing indeed. Welcome to the most studied volcano in the world, Kilauea. Garcia and I came to this surreal landscape on Hawaii's Big Island by helicopter. On our way, we got a glimpse of the red rock cauldron of magma through the sulfur-tainted steam. Kilauea is one of the longest currently erupting volcanoes on the planet. The lava started flowing in January of 1983.
So the mantle is producing an enormous amount of hot material that's coming out of Kilauea. This is probably one of the most active periods of the historical record of Kilauea.
The eruption waxes and wanes, at times spewing fountains of lava, and in the 1990s threatening and destroying nearby homes. Through it all, there is one constant besides the flowing lava: Garcia. He has been studying Kilauea for 30 years, thanks to support from the National Science Foundation.
Well, with most volcanoes, you want to know when it's going to erupt. And so that's a primary concern. But in this case, where we have an eruption that's been going on for over 30 years, the big question is, when's it going to stop?
He comes here looking for data. In this case, a piece of freshly cooked earth just out of the oven. He dunks it in water, freezing the moment and its chemical composition in time. A geological Instagram packed with data.
We know its birth date. We know when it was erupted. And you might ask, well, why do we care? Because the lava composition changes hourly, daily, or even monthly.
And somewhere in there might be some sort of telltale sign of whether it's going to continue erupting or not, right?
Absolutely. In science, one of the key things we do now are time series studies, where we collect samples repeatedly during the course of an eruption or in the ocean, because it's evolving all the time.
Back in his lab at the University of Hawaii in Honolulu, graduate student Kendra Lin does her part to understand Kilauea, shaving rocks into 30-micron slices and then analyzing them using an electron microprobe. She is interested in this green mineral called olivine. It is the most common mineral that forms at Kilauea.
What can we learn from it?
Because it's the first thing to crystallize in these magmas, it tells us a lot about the mantle source, where the magmas came from, and it can also tell us a lot about the magma's history.
This is just one of many tests the team routinely conducts to analyze the elements and isotopes in the newborn rocks.
Each of the processes within the volcano leaves a fingerprint. So over the years, we've been able to develop an understanding of what those fingerprints are and what they tell us about what's going on in the volcano.
So where are we right now? What's this?
We're looking at the rock collection we have from the Pu'u'o eruption, as well as some of the other Hawaiian eruptions.
And over the years, he has amassed an impressive collection of rocks, not just from Kilauea, but from volcanoes all over the Hawaiian Islands.
So this is July 23rd of 1997, and this one looks a little grayer.
Yeah, it's not quite as shiny for whatever reason.
But
Why
you can
would that
see the
be?
imprint. Well,
Yeah.
it was a little cooler at the time it was quenched.
I see.
If only these rocks could talk.
Volcanoes are addictive.
Fortunately, Garcia is pretty adept at reading them. One of the things he focuses on is the temperature of the lava.
So what we've seen is a long-term decrease. Initially, the lava temperature was low. It increased, the eruption roared upward, and now it's been slowly waning and we see the temperature of the lavas indicating a decrease. So we think this eruption might end in the near future, but it's ended several times in the past. It was quiet in 1997 for a month, and then it restarted.
Back at the lava flow, Garcia told me his work is not as dangerous as it seems. A calculated risk for a good scientific cause.
All right, so what is the strategy for walking? How do you know what to step on?
We need to avoid areas that look shelly, indicating that the lava is drained out from underneath. So we try to look for places where it looks solid, so we can avoid collapsing in on the lava flow.
I'm just going to follow you. How's that?
Very good.
But while we were here, some newly minted, still hot Hawaiian earth melted the soles right off his shoes.
Wow, just like that. Is your other one already gone?
No. Oh, you're absolutely right.
Holy moly. Wow.
All in a day's work for an intrepid geologist determined to go with and to the flow.
Success.
For Science Nation, I'm Miles O'Brien.
Kind of reminds me of all the different sand samples that I have in class and we have the students look at in different classrooms. But anyway, we'll move on with Andrea. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent. Thanks for coming back in to see us here on Do the Math. You are with Kern Dance Alliance.
Kern Dance Alliance, correct.
And we're just going to go ahead and put this up here because you brought some bumper stickers for us to put all over the county vehicles.
That's right.
And show the everybody's support of Kern Dance Alliance. Now, you guys have been a partner, and we certainly do appreciate it. You have been a partner with Do the Math since you started.
2015.
Right. So you guys have been around for a little bit. So explain a little bit about what Kern Dance Alliance is, first of all.
Absolutely. Well, first, we're a nonprofit organization, which means we provide services to the community at reduced or free rates. And essentially what we do is we not only support dancers, dance organizations, artists within other arts disciplines, but we also have programs that use movement and dance to improve the quality of life for people living in our community. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we're taking dance beyond the dance studio, beyond the stage, and we're showing people how moving their bodies can make their lives a little bit better, like teaching them math, or teaching them how to read, or helping people with Alzheimer's and dementia, or helping at-risk youth, or helping people with disabilities. It's all about using movement and dance to make life better.
I was going to say, just moving is the big thing, but incorporating dance with that movement and then learning something along with it ties everything together.
Exactly. It's all about using the arts to teach people complicated concepts in a way through their bodies.
So, are there classes that people can come to you, or is it strictly you guys going out, or is it a mixture of both?
It's a mixture of both. We run several programs throughout the year, as I mentioned, one that teaches children how to read, and that's in collaboration with the Kern County Library. All summer long, it's teaching children, kindergarten to third grade, how to read through movement and dance. Program we're going to talk about today, this is a math and dance program where that is hosted at Garces Memorial High School during the summertime, and kids can come to that program and take the classes for free.
Because I know that you said, all right, this is for girls in 6th grade and other grades, but I remember because I teach 6th grade, I would often hand those things out to the students that were interested, and then hopefully they participated and things like that. So how do you incorporate math with dance?
Exactly. So what we're specifically talking about today is a program called Shine for Girls. Math plus dance equals success.
All right.
This is a nationally recognized program that is curriculum based and after school, and the program focuses on girls 6th to 8th grade, and it uses math and dance to teach girls all different types of math concepts, from pre-algebra to algebra, probability, geometry, order of operations, plane coordinates, all different types of concepts that girls are learning through 6th to 8th grade, but it's doing it in a way where you're not sitting down at a table, you're actually getting up and moving your body.
You have to get up and move. Well, it's a good thing I've got a girl here today, a rather sharp one. Macayla is a 6th grade student, so she fits right into what you guys are doing. So, you want to take it away with Macayla?
Absolutely. So, Macayla, we're going to give our friends at home an example of how Shine for Girls Math plus Dance works. So let's go ahead and stand over here on the carpet. So I had mentioned that the girls are learning all different types of math concepts through this program, and one of those is fractions. So I know for the kids at home, they might say, oh, this is so easy. I got fractions down, no problem. But I'm going to show you a physical way of making sense of fractions through your bodies. So we're going to start with learning 10 movements. Are you ready, Macayla?
Yeah.
Okay, and kids, you guys can get up, move our bodies. It's after school. Get your wiggles out. So we're going to put our hands by our sides, and we're going to stand nice and tall.
So give them just a minute for the kids at home to get up out of their seats right now.
Get
And we're going to
up.
have one of our producers also do this. I know she's busy taking photos, but she'll be behind the camera over here kind of mimicking what you're doing also, because your attention is with Macayla.
Fantastic.
All right.
Macayla, I'm with you. And I know my kids are at home watching, so I hope Alex and Hannah, you guys are up learning too. Okay, so we're going to stomp one foot. That's count one. Stomp your other foot. That's count two. Let's do that again. 1, 2. We're going to do 2 jumps. 3, 4. Let's put that all together. Stomp 1, stomp 2, jump 3, jump 4. Got that? Those are 4 movements. Let's do it one more time. Stomp 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to step forward. 5. Step together 6, step backwards 7, step together 8. Do all that? Here we go, 8 movements, here it comes. 1, 2, 3, 4, step forward 5, 6, step back 7, 8, count 9, clap, clap 10, lift your arms. You ready to put all 10 pieces together?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Step 1, step 2, jump, 3, jump, 4, step 5 together, 6, step 7 together, 8, 9, 10. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we've got our 10 movements down. Now let's talk about the fraction of tenths. So now, Macayla, let's create 3/10 of that movement that we just did.
Okay.
The first 3 movements, 3/10. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go. Stomp 1, stomp 2, jump 3, 3/10. 10 movements, we only did 3 of them. We reduced that equation, or that fraction down to 3/10. Shall we do another fraction? How many movements do you want to put in?
Let's do 8.
8 of them. Let's do 8/10, everybody. Okay, thinking caps on. Get your bodies up. Let's move. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pretty good. Should we do one last one?
Yeah.
What fraction do you want to do this time?
Let's do 5/10.
5/10. Kinesthetic learning is what we call this. It's when we use physical movement to experience something that's often intangible. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we stopped in the splits. Come on back. Last time, let's make it a good one.
Let's do 10/10.
10/10. The full choreography. Macayla.
Yep.
The stage is yours. Solo. Here she goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And there we go. We've just created fractions, which I know to the kids, well, that was so easy, but we showed it in a physical form. We were able to deduce those numbers into different types of movements and make understanding of fractions.
There you go. Nicely done. So a perfect way to incorporate math and dance at the same time. Kern Dance Alliance, you guys have been with us since 2015.
Yes.
If somebody wanted to learn more about Kern Dance Alliance, where do they need to go to?
Yeah, head on over to kerndance.org. You can follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and also on Twitter at Kern Dance. And as I mentioned, our Shine for Girls Math Plus Dance program is coming back this summer. 2-year hiatus because of the pandemic, but we're so excited it's coming back this summer for 1 week. And we're kind of calling it our Math Summer Boot Camp. Right before school starts, girls can get in there for a week, experience this super fun program, and then head off to school ready for their math classes.
All right, there you go. And ready for PE as well.
Ready for PE, yes. And you know what? We're getting our bodies up and moving in the summer months when the temperature's kind of soar. It's nice to go inside and keep moving.
There you go. Thanks very much, Andrea, for coming in. 636-4357 is the phone number. We learned about the Kern Pledge today and kids, and now another career pathway.
Maybe they're not building a house yet, but they can use a drill, they can use a saw, they're not afraid of machines that make noise.
At first it was really hard, but like it came like really easily, getting to know like all the machines and everything.
Anything that has to do with like designs, and if it comes out really good, I feel like that's something like I'm proud of.
Safety becomes a culture, so I start right away. Safety begins with cleanliness and order. There's no horseplay. You're an adult when you come into this class. I hired you through the counselors to be in my class. Be respectful to everyone, respect the machines, just respect what we have. Not a lot of high schools have a wood shop. At the beginning of school, we use the Chromebooks for the safety tests and a few lessons that I lecture on. So right in the middle is the longest line. That would be what? Maybe a ½ inch, right? When it's time for business, it's time for business. So putting the Chromebooks away, things of that nature are nice. And then the kids have an idea of how I am. So when we come up into the shop, putting the tools away, housekeeping is a big thing. No horsing around. So if you follow the rules, 99.9% of the time, you're going to be okay.
In the first days of class, we did like a whole walkthrough where we had to learn all the things that could happen and how to stop them from happening.
We make sure that we have our glasses on, make sure everything is working properly. He just knows how to talk to like the students, makes them feel comfortable, makes me feel like I could trust them with anything.
They know me. I don't waver. I'm a steward to what I want to see. It's nice. I keep consistency from day one throughout the year. They like it. It becomes a culture.
We had to make a stool, and there was like so many different parts. It was just really confusing, but at the end it like came out really well.
One of the best classes there could possibly be out here in VHS other than welding, in my opinion. I just love that hands-on. Out of all of my teachers that I have in this school, he's one of my favorites.
Try to glue it nice and flat, because then you can put it in surface planer or sand it, or both. Don't go crazy on glue, but clamp it 2-3 times.
He's a pretty good teacher. I think that's what makes woodshop like woodshop, because he's a really good teacher.
Now what I do is, there's this nib right here, nib right here.
He always lets us know what to do next, or like if something is messed up, he'll teach us how to do it correctly. He never just like says, go do it. He like helps us through the process.
Right here, if you get the square file, try to get that glue out. When it comes to my pencil, that's consistency. You brought it to me, man, let's do this. My advanced guys, they won't bring it to me until it's almost there. And I'll still pull my pencil out, unless it looks great. But it's hard. It's hard to make it look great. Some students just, they're good at some things, but the project might not be absolutely balanced. I'm okay with that, because I know they tried. You'll get an A, because you were working your tail off to try to do the best you could. And if that's your best right now, perfect.
After high school, I'm planning on working for the teacher, Mr. Waits, for his company, and then just like for a few months, and then after that, college.
I don't really know what I want to like do once I'm older, but I mean it's like an option.
This program is pretty powerful when it comes to the students and what they can create and what they do. And in the future, that whatever your journey is, that's your journey. You may not know, but this may open their eyes and just take them on another path of like, hey, there's something out there I'm good at.
Part of that pledge, another career pathway right there, and woodworking. Macayla is a 6th grade student in studio with us today. Didn't think you were going to be doing a little dancing today, did you?
Nope.
Okay, well, there you got some dance movements in there. So, have you heard about March Madness, the NCAA basketball tournament that's going on right now?
No.
Not at all. Good. Well, this is something brand new for you then. So it's going into its final weekend. There are 4 teams at the end of this whole thing. Started off with 64 teams. So if there were 64 teams and everybody was playing, do you think it would be kind of difficult to guess or predict every team that would move on all the way down to these final 4?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. It's nearly impossible. Nobody's ever done it, okay? So we're going to do something a little bit like this right now. So we're going to flip a coin, and we're going to do it online here. And how likely do you think it is that you're going to be able to get 16 heads in a row?
Not very likely.
How many in a row do you think you could get?
About 3.
About 3? Let's try it. All right, so we're going to flip. There we go, heads. All right, so we've got 1. The goal is to get 16 in a row. We want 16 heads in a row.
Yeah, this next one could be it. We could just throw it all away right here.
Oh,
there it
tails.
is.
All right, so we're out. So erase the head. So we are now back at 0. All right, let's try it again. We'll start off. All right, there's 1. Flip it again. Up. All right, erase that one. All right, let's go ahead. Not even a good start. Let's flip it again. All right, there's 1. So Macayla, the probability of getting ahead every time I flip it is what? What's the probability of getting ahead when I flip the coin? 1/2, right? So you've got 1 out of 2 shots at getting ahead. So let's see if we can get, oh, once again, we have not got past 1. Tails again.
Well,
So
at least we know it'll give us 2 things in a row. At least we got 2 tails in a row.
3 tails in a row.
Oh,
4 tails in a row. 5.
5. All right. Well, I guess you can keep track of the tails. I can tally up 5 up there and see if we can keep that going. So go ahead. Put 6 up there, Mick. All right.
I mean, I
let's
say
see
we
if
got
can do it with
6.
tails.
You know.
Of course, once we get there, we at 6. I actually did this today in class by myself to see how far I could get. So, Macayla, it's going to be pretty hard to get 16 heads in a row.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
It is possible, but it's pretty difficult. So, in order to pick 16 games where you've got 32 teams competing, this is going to be, Mick, if you could put up 2 to the 16th power. So just write 2 with a 16 as an exponent. That would,
excuse me.
So 2 to the 16th is equal to 65,536. So you would have a 1 in 65,536 chance of getting all of those games correct. Okay?
Some good odds.
Now, if we go to 32 games,
Now
which
we're
is
getting
2 to the
somewhere.
32nd power, this is approximately equal to, and we'll make this a fraction, 1 over 4.2 billion. So that's what the odds would be of you getting all of the games correct.
I think I did my.
For the,
I'm second guessing my scientific notation.
I thought you were just going to write billion, but by all
mean,
means, if you want to go with the scientific notation, go ahead and do that.
Trying to use those tools of mathematics you're talking about.
Now let's put 4.2 underneath that. We'll put 4.2 billion seconds. Is approximately equal to 136 years. And did you know that there was a museum of mathematics?
No.
There is. It's in New York City, and there was a doctor that is visiting there right now that kind of went through all this to illustrate this, to show the probability of getting the brackets and all of these teams correct. But if you're ever in New York City, go to MoMath. It's the Museum of Mathematics in New York City. So Mo Math, all right, so Museum of Mathematics. All right, so what this basically boils down to is there are 4.2 billion seconds approximately in 136 years. If you selected 1 second out of those 136 years, it would have to match the exact second that I selected. That's how hard it is to get all of those teams correct in that team of 64, in that whole group of 64. So if you happen to see the news or something and they talk about March Madness with NCAA basketball, that's what's going on. And the likelihood of doing something like that is very, very difficult.
Well, if we had every person in the world do it, you might have 2 winners.
Well, think about it though. I mean, 136 years, you select a second of time, and I select a second of time, and if those 2 seconds match, that's the likelihood of you getting all of this correct.
I think we got it.
Yeah, okay.
I'm
So
going to
there
go
we
with year 112, January 17th on a Tuesday at 12:04 p.m. in 5 seconds.
How do you know that that day of the year is on a Tuesday? You don't even see, you got that part. They gave you the buzzer already.
I want to verify.
I'll give you the buzzer right there too. You're done, son. All right, so do me a favor, Mick, put up 4 4s on the board. Have I done 4 4s with you?
Who are you talking to, me?
Mick. That's Mac. Macayla, you're Mick. There's 4 4s. All right. Macayla, I'm going to give you about 90 seconds to do this. So we need 4 4s in a row. So all next to each other. So obviously
now we're getting
4 4s with
specific.
you.
Okay.
So 4 4s right next to each other, a little bit of space in between. Macayla, have I done this with you?
Yeah, you have.
Oh, good. So you're going to be able to teach Mickey this.
Oh, okay.
So select a number between 1 and 9.
6.
6, all right. So put equals 6 at the end. And Macayla, what I'd like you to do is put any operations you want in there. Add, subtract, multiply, divide, radical signs.
Okay.
And now you got it, right?
We did
this
this
is
at a
from our
training.
friends at UCubed. All right. So Macayla, go up and explain to Mickey how you can manipulate those 4 4s to get 6. And I will give you 90 seconds.
Oh, dang.
To get as close as you can. We'll see how you do.
Okay, so you could do 4 divided by 4, and that would equal 1. And then you could do plus 4. Wait, no, wait, that's not how math works. Wait, no.
Other side, other side.
Other side. How does math work? You. Radicals. How does radicals work again? Oh yeah. This thing. That thing would be.
Is this allowed?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
it's allowed.
Just
So
double
you can take
checking.
the square root of 4, which would be equal to
2.
2. Good.
Just want to make sure. In my training, we weren't allowed to do that. Just want to make
No,
sure
you're
we're
fine,
good
you're
here.
fine.
Okay.
2 plus 4 equals 6, and then minus 4 plus 4 equals 6.
All right, so check that for order of operations and make sure that everything does work out, because I know you were talking about it, but let's make sure that it does work.
Okay, so radicals 4, that would be 2, and then if I did plus 4, that would be 6, and then minus 4, that would be 2, and then plus 4, that's 6 again.
Looks good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nicely done. All right, come on over here. You did that in your 90 seconds, so mission accomplished. Well, this is the 21st season of Do the Math, and this is obviously our final day of Do the Math for year 21. We would like to first of all thank Amanda and Greg for coming in, talking about the Kern Pledge and kids, as well as all of the different adults that have come in during the various times this year. We've had a lot of guests, a lot of great guests, a lot of fantastic places that we were able to visit this year. We'd also like to thank everybody behind the scenes, starting with John, who's out here on the floor every single day, Brian in the back in the control room. We've got our master audio technician, Willie, back there, guiding our students, Joaquin and Junior. And Do the Math does employ high school students, and every year we have a great batch of high school students to come and help us out. And we've also got our producers, Mackenzie and Aaron. They do a lot of things behind the scenes to make sure that all of the social media stuff is looking good, and we up here look great, and everything is going according to plan.
Make sure all the technology works and we plug it in the right way.
Because you want to make sure that everything is on board and on track, and there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that a lot of people aren't familiar with.
Exactly.
And much like yourself coming in today, we have a host of tutors. So we've got Scott that comes in, we've got Devin that comes in, we've got Cece, who we brought back after a 20-year hiatus. She had her kids all grown up, off to college, so it's welcoming back to Cece. And then we've got Mary Lou and April, Zenaida, and Joaquin, and those are all now employees of the Kern County Superintendent of Schools in the mathematics department. We've also got Cindy, who is another instructor. We've got Hilda, who works with the KCSOS as well. And I think I've got all of the tutors right there. I think we got through all of them. But we certainly do want to appreciate and say thank you to all of our sponsors that help Do the Math go as well. And it's a lot of work to put the show together, especially to go for a year, but we've now wrapped up. This is our 21st season, so for a show to go for 5 or 10 years is pretty good, and then to go 20 years is pretty good. We did a lot of celebrating last year at 20 years, and we are now celebrating 21 years, and Macayla, thank you for coming in, and thank you to all of the students, because we do have a student in here with us every day, and that does take time on their part, and thanks to all of the parents that help support those students as well. And we will be back again in September, and until we meet again, continue to do the math.
Major support for Do the Math has been provided by Chevron, the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, Edison International, Valley Strong Credit Union, California Resources Corporation, Panama Buena Vista Union School District, and Kern High School District, with additional production assistance provided by these supporters of education in Kern County and throughout the state of California.